Another Civilization Restarts episode 11. Stick around until the end, like and subscribe. This one's insane. We begin over in Spain, where multiple tribes experience brutality because of the red team's constant incursions. This eventually becomes too much after the red team colonizes this land right here. Nope, nope, nope. That looks so bad. They colonize. What happened? Okay, so they colonize this land. This land. So a pretty rigid border. That's because it's built along multiple borders from other tribes. That's why it looks like that. And this is actually a part of the Moroccan territory. These two, again, if you remember, are a part of the red team proper. It's like the main state, which the main state is actually like, how do I do this? So let's color in the brown, which is the main state. So the main state, when I color in, is actually like, it's not that big, if I'm being honest. It's actually pretty small. The main state is just this brown. Um, this brown. That's the main state. This right here. Oh, and Cyprus. This right here. This is the Turkish semi-autonomous region, Sinai, Carthage, which is probably the biggest one of these, which are all still under complete government by the main thing, but they have like their own economies, their own rights to the land, own leaders who have to report to the main government. De facto, they're all under the control um, of the main state, and then obviously the Moroccan one, which is by far the richest. Even though it's not the biggest, it is by far the richest. Like this is not even close. It's nowhere close the amount of money they have. But all right. So it makes the Spanish tribes pretty scared, and so they all decide to unify into one nation, which I will color there. That color is probably being used. Let's make a new color. Is this a good one? I want it to be pink, a shade of pink. Spain is a very pink or yellow country. Orange, actually. Spain is an orange country. Spain feels orange. There we go. That's good. Yeah. Over here, obviously, um, the things have not gotten any better. Life is still absolutely miserable for peasants, except now, there's some more land that is added, and that's going to be like this. So these guys are going to colonize, and actually, this land is kind of weird because both of these claim the entirety of this land, like the entirety of this new province, but they don't actually own all of that. So that I am going to draw in just like this. Yeah, these guys want all this land just to like secure their, because these guys did it because the tribe here living in this region was similar to their culture, had similar culture. These guys doing it in response, or claimed this in response, and then colonized this part in response because they felt this was a little bit too close to the capital, which it is. It's like right there. So their claim is the one that's actually legit, and these is a security concern. Over here, meanwhile, the South Koreans face their final war, a war from these guys who invade them on a Tuesday afternoon, burning the capital, capitulating the state, and killing the monarchy. Absolutely massacre. Absolute massacre takes place. However, in the end, Korea is unified under um under these guys. So, well, not all of Korea. The north is still under Manchurian control. But yeah, so they colonized this, and now here is the problem. These guys, they think that this is the end. This is the end of the Koreans, but obviously it's not, because Korea still exists over here, and these guys do have a secret messenger who tells them, like a few boats escaped, so they know that Korea's gone, but they also know they have to remain secluded from everyone else for their it's not much of an invasion. It's more of just overthrowing the people here. Either way, so this happens. They're gonna annex this, and now it's just Tokyo and North Tokyo. The North is heavily destroyed by this because the West was a ally to it. Not really an ally, but like more than Tokyo. Tokyo is heavily funded by the Japo Koreans, the Korean Japanese civilization, which does make yes. Okay, so over here, we're gonna have a war between the Spanish and the Red Team. The Spanish, fearing that the Red Team, we're gonna call this Espanola. Spain in Spanish, I think, is called Espanola. No, that doesn't work. There's the island in the Caribbean that's called Hispaniola or something. That's too. I can't. I know I'm never gonna pronounce that right. So we'll just call this Iberia. That's much easier. So Iberia, they launch an invasion. Now they don't have that many troops. Their troops are skilled, but they don't have that many troops, and so they have to use it very wisely. And they have to use the people living here to their advantage. They need to keep those people on their side, and so the invasion begins. They quickly push here, but um, it's not gonna go well. Actually, first I should probably get their capital, which is right here. No, in this little bay, small kind of bay thing. Either way, it's right there. Um, quickly they're pushed back and repelled, especially in Portugal, where the Portuguese, so like the Portuguese are way bigger in this. They're like all the way over here. They have much different culture than the rest of the Spanish. So using that to their advantage, the red team sparks some movements, not really a lot, but nonetheless it helps. Not really that much, but it makes the job easier, cheaper, and so they can get all the way over here. It's okay. The rest of the red team, meanwhile, eventually arrives with troops from Morocco. In other words, the strongest troops that the red team has inside of Africa are so like yeah, because the Moroccans have the strongest red team troops in all of Africa. I'm not counting the Sinai and like this part and like oh, what just happened? What just happened? Okay, not counting the Sinai and like this part of Carthage, because those need to be heavily fortified because of the Mamluks. And also Sinai is basically just red team. Like most of Sinai is in the Middle East than it is in Africa. Um, eventually they reach up here, they capture the capital, and they continue the push. Phase 2, this is called, and it completely discombobulates the entirety of the Spanish. That is going to lead to a peace treaty, instantaneous peace treaty, because now the capital and the king is gone. So, taking a look at this, it's going to be like a little bit like this, pretty shaky, and then it's going to go upwards to encompass Portugal's some of Portuguese territory. So the push of the red team into Iberia does go well. However, the Spanish are now inconsequently to the red team. This is a what if this was a thing in our actual history. Um, this exact event, I can already tell there'd be like 7 million videos on the what if of this if this didn't happen, because this leads to the Spanish actually moving up north and starting to discover a lot more stuff up north, which we'll take a look at next episode. They also moved their capital into Catalonia region. It's like right here. But if this didn't happen, it's safe to say it would have delayed France and Germany's exploration by a lot. But we'll look at that next video. Over here, Japanese citizens who are now feeling a lot more distant than them don't really want Korean rulers, and so war, complete utter war, and chaos descends upon the Korean Japanese civilization, and so that is going to lead to a civil war. Um, I need the brown color again. This entire region rebels. So as you can see, this is quite most of the civilization, but this is due to most of like Korean culture being in the south, since that's the part they first colonized. Why is paint never work? Why does paint never work? Never. Oh my god, what happened? What happened? What happened? What happened? Um, don't like this. Control Z, please. Control Z. Um, this isn't very good. Anyway, yeah. So while it's loading, I'll give you some of the lore. So like right here, oh, it loaded. Okay, so yeah. The war begins, and almost instantaneously, the capital also erupts into violence and chaos, and then quickly meets up with the rest of the country, kill the leaders, and then the leader of the revolution becomes their new king, and kills murders the first king. Anyway, so that is also going to lead to the capital being moved into Tokyo, which is claimed as the new capital, and Tokyo is invaded, which quickly capturing Tokyo itself. And these guys are now called the Tokian Republic, the Tokyo Republic. This is because Tokyo is like kind of the symbol of Japanese freedom now. That Tokyo is wiped out, and then these guys are also kind of brought into the fire. Now these two sign an agreement and go to war with the Tokians, who also quickly wipe those two out as well. This doesn't stop here, as these guys are landed on their capital, destroyed, and then Nagasaki declares war. The Nagasaki Island declares war, and that is also completely destroyed. So Japan is completely now united. These guys wanting to show how they're like real Japan. Actually, eventually after this, changed their name from Korea to the Japanese Empire. Not that. Nope. The Japanese Republic. Japanese Republic. Japanese dynasty. The dynasty of Japan. Yep. I can't name a Japanese empire. That's nope. They annex everything, and eventually their sailors also colonize this island. So yeah, you can imagine. You can just imagine, because they're everything now. Actually, they don't colonize that. They're gonna leave that. They see it. They don't like it. They leave it. I wouldn't blame them. It's a frozen wasteland. Anyway, so that little thing about how we're only going to be we need to keep our land because what we have right now is all we'll ever have is completely abolished, and land is sold like normal, like in the U.S. modern day. You can buy land. You can just you can buy a house, things like that. Because before it wasn't like that. It was like it was that in the north, but in the south, when you bought land, it would be under the government, and then you'd have to keep paying them. It was like rentage for owning the land, and you couldn't do anything with it unless the government approved it, which, as you can imagine, took a very long time. It was a horrible system. Anyway, so these guys, they're gonna move their capital right here, and now we have a new country, and that wraps up this episode's storyline of the East Asian thing. Now we're gonna go to our daily African news. So in Africa right now, this thing is in chaos. That thing is in chaos. Abyssinia is in complete chaos, and this actually leads to Abyssinia being divided. Lines are drawn up on Abyssinia, and it is divided into three new sectors: the Somalian one, the West Abyssinian one, and then the East Abyssinian one. Now the West one is actually under the complete control of the blue team. So this is just controlled by the blue team, and then these two are obviously semi-autonomous provinces. These two are actually eventually combined into one. So yeah, and then this one is also actually redrawn. Now the reason for this is one, due to these guys becoming very poor and so unable to stop the government from implementing these changes, and two, because gold is discovered here, which is gold right now is like oil in our world. It's very useful. So yeah, and over in India, nothing really is going to happen. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.